All right, guys, I'm getting ready to place an order to Summit for my final ARP bolt list. I've got a notebook wrote down with a bunch of stuff. ARP 12-point stainless steel bolts I need to get. The theme of the car is almost everything is pretty much all ARP 12 points in the body, the chassis, the engine, everything. The only thing I didn't have was my transmission stuff. So I've actually been out here trying to figure out thread sizes and underhead length and all that stuff, because I know my standard bolts really well, kind of by heart, but as far as when it comes to metric bolts, I'm out. I kind of got a redneck way of doing it. I have a snap-on. This is a thread cleaner kit. This is not a tap and die set. This is actually a cleaner kit. I use the crap out of this thing, but mainly when I have a metric bolt that I need to know the thread size on, I just basically use the cleaner dies or the tap basically to find out what size it is. So it's kind of funny to me that I have to do that, but anyway, also to find underhead length, I'm glad I got my little Harbor Freight digital caliper there to show me my millimeters and underhead length. I just thought it's kind of funny and worth posting about. It's not too bad. I have noticed Summit, there's been a couple of them that Summit's list doesn't show the bolts in their list, like they don't have them or they don't make them. So luckily I have an ARP catalog and some of the stuff I actually found in here. And what's funny is you can put the part number from the catalog in Summit in the search box and it'll bring it up, even though it won't be in the list for ARPs on the left hand side, which I think is weird. So anyway, if you're in that shape, you might get you a catalog from ARP. I think they're free. I need to get a new one. This is from 2015. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out my final ARP list. I have ARPs for everything in the car. I mean, what wouldn't take a 12-point bolt, I actually made it take 12-point bolts. So I have it for just about everything. Stainless ARP bolts are stronger than a grade 8 bolt, so they're not your average hardware store grade 2. And what's funny is when I first started gathering parts for the car and mocking stuff up, I needed a lot of 1/4x20 bolts for this 55. So what I ended up doing was I had bought an engine accessory bolt kit like this one here. This is an engine and accessory fastener kit that ARP sells. This is actually a black oxide 5-point kit. This is what I put in my my Cutlass Salon. These are just extras. But anyway, what I figured out was it was cheaper to get 2 of these, because on a small block Chevy, they have a ton of 1/4x20s, for oil pan and timing cover. So I ended up buying 2 accessories, and it was cheaper to buy the accessory fastener kit than it would have been to go buy all the 5 packs of 1/4x20s. So just food for thought there. I have 1/4x20s for everything, even stuff you will not see once the car is completely together. I have 1/4x20 bolts for all of the regulators, the window tracks, everything in the doors, even the gas pedal where it goes down there. Everything will be 12-point ARP, even the dimmer switch, 12-point ARP. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but to me, a big detail thing in a show car is your fasteners. And I'm the guy that I like all my fasteners to match. Now, I mean, granted, you can't get everything to work in a 12-point ARP. This has a lot of countersink stuff in a 55 Chevy like these. Now, I probably could get away with putting some 12 points in here and just have the head stick off there. But I have some nice countersunk polished stainless steel Allen heads, that I'm putting in there. And also my strikers for the door jamb here. I have some nice countersink. I think I got them from Totally Stainless. Totally Stainless, if you don't have their catalog, you might ought to get it. They list a lot of stuff. They have carriage bolts. Just about everything you can think of in stainless steel, they have it. Also on my list, when I worked on this chassis and I built my exhaust hanger brackets here, I needed the 12-point bolts for that, which were 1.5 inches long, but also needed the nuts. so I ordered some nuts too, or have it in the cart. But my exhaust pipe and mufflers, I'm actually using just the old school clamps, muffler style clamps, the old school ones like those. So I ordered 4 12.3 by 16 nuts to put on my. Now I ordered, they're in the cart as well. I've got stainless steel polished muffler clamps for my exhaust system, but I'll change out the nuts that they come with to a 12-point ARP nut. But anyway, it kind of sucks on the transmission because I'm using a 704. It's actually this one. That one that you were just seeing is actually a spare 704 I have, and both of them are mechanical speedo, which is good for my 55 because I'm still using my mechanical speedometer. But anyway, you got to have your 12-point bolts to put on your mount, your transmission mount. Also tail shaft bolts, the bolt for that. There's the bolts for the bell housing, all that stuff. And you have to buy them in 5-packs. Unless it's a nut, you can buy them in a single. So it gets expensive really quick. Like this bolt here for this. So I'm going to have a lot of leftover metric bolts I'm not going to be using probably really for nothing else, but I just want, when I take that transmission apart and paint it and then put it all back together, it'll be just as detailed as everything else, but it'll have 12 points in it everywhere. And I'll paint a lot of the stuff, separate, different colors so it looks nice, like the cover here. I'll probably paint it flat black. The transmission will be platinum pearl. I have a a cast aluminum transmission pan, and it'll probably be black, but I just don't want to basically paint the entire transmission bolts and all. I want everything detailed and separately bolted on. Even the nut for the shift lever will be a 12-point ARP, even the little bolt that goes in here. So anyway, it kind of sucks. There's no telling how much money is going to be in just that crap, but to me it's a detail thing that you have to have. I'm also going to pull these plugs out here. There's 3 plugs. I'm going to try to get some nice anodized ones, either red or blue or whatever, some kind of color so you'll see it, it'll pop. But these here I'll probably I'll just polish those, clean them up, polish them. But basically want everything apart off the trans when I paint it. And then that way it doesn't look like I just laid the transmission in the floor and went paint crazy on it. For me, it's all in the details, and when you paint each piece separately and put it all together, although it takes a lot more time, it's a hell of a lot better finished product. Because I'm going to be proudly putting mirrors into this car, showing all the detail and stuff. So anyway, I just thought it would be kind of funny to post that. This is how I have to look up metric bolts, because I know some of you guys probably know that stuff by heart. Now, like on my standards, I know that stuff. I can pick a bolt up off of something and I can tell you exactly what it is. 3 by 16, quarter by 20, 7/16 by 14, that type of stuff. But when it comes to metric, man, I tell you, it is it's out of my wheelhouse. And I think that transmission and maybe that disc brake rear end I have is the only metric things I think I've got. But anyway, I just thought it's kind of funny. The other thing, post this in the comments below if you know. I have this 700 R4 and then I have that one over there. Now this one has 2 mounting pads for a transmission mount. So originally I was going to have to cut this off, but as I got to looking at my spare one over there, it does not have this on the mount. So I'm going to use the tail shaft after the other tranny on this one. But if you know what this one was for, post in the comments below. I don't know if it's truck or if it's specific car, or I don't know, it's really weird, but it does have the mechanical speedo system on it, and that one over there does as well. So anyway, guys, I'm still doing body work on my chassis. I guarantee it'll be next week before I put primer on that chassis. It is just taking hours and hours and hours and hours, and I mean, it sucks. I'll sand an area and I'll find a high spot, just like right here. I had to go back and grind it down a little bit, and I'll have to go back and put filler, and 9 times out of 10 I'll go back and block, and there'll be another little area of the tie that I have to go back and grind a little bit, put filler on. It just sucks. And with it being so hot, you know, the filler's kicking on me, so I just get gloppy with it and just glop it on there. The stuff that I use, you know, it sands real easy, so I don't mind the glopping. It sands off pretty quick. But anyway, I'm going to get back to this and try to get the rest of my list put together to place that order to Summit for all the bolts. I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably close to $300 when I'm done, but I'm pretty sure at that point it'll be everything. I've got everything in separate Ziploc bags. And it's all labeled where it goes because I've already had the car mocked up. So anyway, I'm going to get after it.